In this video, I want to tell you what the cheapest possible kill teams are, and if they are worth buying. I'll be breaking this down into the 5 lowest price points you can build a kill team at, and just to keep it consistent, I'm using the Games Workshop prices on the website. I'm sure you can find most of these for a little bit less than what I'm listing here. The first price point will be the $40 kill team. In this tier, we have a Craft World kill team entirely composed of Guardians. Buying a $40 boss is enough to make 2 fire teams of Guardians, plus you get the Guardian Defender heavy weapon platform. This means your kill team will be 10 operatives, which all have pretty decent shooting. The worst unit will still hit on 3s and has rending on its shooting, so not bad. And then with your weapon platform, you have high damage and a lot of armor penetration, while being pretty tanky too. If you can use your gun line to stay out of melee, this is a pretty decent budget team as long as you don't mind looking at their triangle heads. The next price point also only has one team and it's at $38, and this is possibly one of the best teams on the list, which is the Deathwatch kill team boss. This boss has 5 models, which is your entire team. For having so few models, you really do get a lot of weapon options to build out your team however you want. So a lot of variety here. They have their Deathwatch weapons, which can pick an ammo type, as well as a lot of combi weapons. If you are looking for a budget kill team, I'd highly recommend this one. Between the solid shooting, melee, all the weapon choices, and the units being fairly elite, this is just a good all-around team. Next on the list will be at $36.25, which I'm not sure why they added the 25 cents to this, but it will be a Kroot Carnivore boss. This one boss has enough for all 12 Kroot Carnivore warriors, as well as the Carnivore leader, so you get a lot of models for your money. The Kroot Carnivores by themselves aren't horrible, because they can use a ploy to switch between cover and engage, and they have an okay range attack. And they get a bonus to their save while they're in cover. So you get a lot of units, so while they might not be the strongest on their own, they normally will have a numbers advantage. But by going on a budget and only getting one boss of the carnivores here, you are losing out on a lot. You don't get the hounds, which have rending and melee, and are just meant to deal a good bit of damage before they die. They're highly aggressive, and more importantly, you miss out on having a Krutos, which is the big 16 wound monkey with a carnivore riding on it, and it has a strong melee and range attack. It has a good movement ploy, it can regen lost wounds in APL, as well as having a 4+ save, so very good in offense and defense. If you want to go cheap and run Kroot, I still think it'd be fun even if it's not meta, and it is a good starting point for a team. You can always add in the other units later. Just know if you are buying it to add the other units later, it will end up being a very expensive kill team by the time you buy the hounds and the Krutos. The next price point is a whole 25 cents cheaper, and we have the $36 range, and we have a few options here. The first of which will be Drakari. If you want to play Drakari, you can either go with the Kabalites or the Witch set. If you want better range but a little less mobility, go with the Kabalite team. If you want to have a really nasty melee and fast movement, go with the Witch team. The Witch models also have some really strong pistol and a 5+ invul save. Either one of these teams will be solid. And you get 10 models with either team, so you have a decent amount of models to work with. The other team at this price point will be the Orc Boys. There's not a ton to say about them. You can build them melee or shooting, but the Shuta is only 4 attacks at a 5+ and has no special ability. Most of the time you will see them running a Choppa and overwhelming you with numbers and melee. You also get a Boss Knob, which can run something like a Power Claw or a combi weapon. I've ran this team a few times and it feels simple but strong. It might not be a bad first team if you are new into the game and want to learn the mechanics. I would highly recommend getting a few Gretchen if you can, just to sit on objectives. They are small and easy to hide behind barricades, so they work pretty well for that. I'm not sure if an all-boys team would be winning any tournaments, but they are still strong for only being $36. So with the Orcs, there is another $36 option, but it's kind of insane. So with the boys, you can replace a boy with 2 Gretchen. So if you ran 2 boy fire teams and replaced every single one of them with Gretchen, you would need 2 bosses of Gretchen, which comes out to be $36 total. I would love to see someone show up to a tournament with a roster of 20 Gretchen, but sadly I don't think that's a viable list. That doesn't mean I don't want to try it now that I realize it's an option though. The final price range is $35 and is kind of a weird one. It's running a full team of Termidants with Devourers. A Termidant with a Devourer counts as 2 models in the Swarm Fire team. So this means you only need 8 of them for the whole team, and you can get that in one boss for $35. Their shooting is actually decent with 5 dice and ceaseless, which means you get to reroll 1s. Nothing insane, but the ceaseless does help you land some hits. Using that with aggressive biostrain to repeat the process when you don't get any damage through almost guarantees you some reliable damage. But the Termidants are bad in melee and horrible in defense. They have 7 wounds and you have to roll assists on defense, so they basically explode when they get hit. And if you somehow survive combat and they don't have a synapse unit nearby, they're basically going to be injured from anything. I've been running the Devour Termidants with warriors and have been having a lot of fun with it, but just Termidants on their own are not a reliable kill team. They're clearly meant to mix with Hormidants and warriors to make a balanced team. Warriors are really expensive at $55 for 3 of them, so if you're working on a budget, I'd stay away from that list. That wraps up this video of the cheapest options for making a kill team. If you're looking for a budget kill team, I hope this helped give you some options. If you have any questions or want any other ideas for something like this, just let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching.